Have you really
Yeah,
gotten a chance to take a look at any of that?
yeah.
Like,
Before we get to Jay-Z, because that's a whole situation on itself.
yeah.
Um, yeah, we're gonna get to Jay-Z, but I have to ask you, when you see someone like Prince Andrew, not only was he, on the list at the island on the plane,
Mhm.
there's a picture of him, you know, s- leaning over, an unknown girl, and he gets strips of his titleship in England as of last year,
Yeah.
and now that just these files have come out and see these pictures, you know,
Finally.
finally, and this is not even all the documents. This is some of it. So to a small portion of what's really out there, to see these things, how, and again, I know you've lived and you've had a life to where you've seen some depravity. How far do you think things go when it comes to all this being combed through and the rest of the documents? How much depravity do you feel is in these files with these, millionaires, billionaires, people of status?
I wish I could go into detail. I wish I could be completely honest, but the truth is, even if I were to do that, they would all say that I'm lying. They would all say that I'm crazy. They would all say that I'm messing, I'm making stuff up, just like they've been saying until this happened, just like they said before until the raid happened, just like, you know what I mean? So it's, I think it's fair to say that there's depravity linked to all of it.
Yeah, there's a picture of Epstein with a young, like I want to say she's probably 11 or 12, maybe younger. There's a picture of her in the outfit, Epstein smiling with her. Then they
Mhm.
change over to another picture, the girl's hogtied in the bed, same outfit on. And that right there, even just seeing that, it lets me know that this is going to a level that I don't think even we're ready for. And it kind of lets me know that whether Epstein killed himself or not, I don't think this wasn't supposed to come out, and he wasn't supposed to see trial.
Ever, ever. It was never supposed to come out. You know, the funny thing is however he passed away, whether it was by his own hands or not, it's clear they did it because they needed to stop something from being exposed, from something from going forward. I'm just curious if that's going to be Diddy's fate. Like, seriously, at this point in time, to talk about Epstein and to talk about Diddy and to not see them as the same situation, like, there's so many intersections between Epstein and Diddy that we're not even paying attention to. And people who were regulars in the Epstein crew. Like, I'm still shocked that there's nothing about Naomi Campbell really coming forward yet. I'm surprised. I'm like bitterly surprised. Yeah, her
Yeah, they
time.
said she had her name was on the list like the most as far as like flight records.
Yeah,
She was on a lot of flights.
a lot of flights.
You
She's
mentioned,
also Diddy's ex-girlfriend.
hey,
Isn't
hey,
that funny? What a
it-
small world.
there you go. Do you feel Epstein took himself out, or that something else more nefarious happened? I asked that because looking at some of these things that did come out, I've seen men commit suicide for much less. So, do you feel personally that it was Epstein's own doing, or something else happened there?
I mean, if we're going to talk about hypotheticals and stuff like that, what makes who's to say he's dead?
Oh, hey, okay, okay,
No, I mean,
okay.
let's
Now
just
you,
be
hey,
honest. I'm
no,
just
you,
saying, let's just be honest here. If we want to, play around with a few ideas, let's think about it. Let's think about it quickly and just use quick common sense. He was in a jail cell when he allegedly took his own life. Um, he allegedly hung himself upside his bed. And with all of the footage that they have of him, the moment and the point where he actually did it is missing. They have all of the footage of everything else. A prison. He's being monitored. And there's a minute just missing. Why?
No,
Why would that be missing?
no, you're right. Plus, he's a
What would be the point to redact that one part? If it's evidence that he took his own life, then that, why is that part missing? Like it's just it's the stupid stuff. I mean, it's did he take his own life? What should he have taken? Could he wanted it? Yeah, he could have. You know, could somebody else have done it? Yeah. Is he even dead? Who knows?
who
Like
knows.
I think holding these files as long as they've held these files with all of the information that's in it has made it very clear that the people that are at the head of all of this can do whatever they want and make people believe whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Like
It, there
I'm
was. I was going to say there was a conspiracy theory, and I don't know how conspiracy this was or how much of a theory it was, but they were saying that Epstein was involved heavily in the human trafficking, to where Wayfair, there was some young girls missing throughout the past few decades, where after a girl goes missing, Wayfair will technically have a furniture piece with the young girl's name at a listed price of 10,000, 12,000, $8,000, where the pieces of furniture were sold. There's receipts of that, a lot purchased by Jeffrey Epstein's assistant, as far as possibly tracking. And those same items that were listed, you could go back on there now and see them down for like regular price, $200, $300, to where they were using the internet and Wayfair as a way, which is a furniture company, as a way
Uh-huh.
to sell humans. To see that, just give me your thoughts on possibly that level of execution when it comes to human trafficking.
I mean, the truth is when it comes to that that business, because it is a business, it's a huge business. None of us are really prepared to have that conversation. Um, I've sat here with y'all already and I've talked to y'all about girls getting moved around on tours and tour buses, girls getting moved around on video shoots. There's 80 trillion ways to sell a human being. The question is why is it so hard to believe that any of that stuff could be possible? I mean, most of the stuff that is happening in plain sight. It's happening right before our very eyes. The stuff that we're reading about in these files and all of that stuff happened. Meanwhile, there's stuff being called into FBI tip lines. Who didn't investigate? Who didn't do more due diligence? Who didn't bother to at least go and discredit these things that were being called in? It's all possible. And I don't understand why anybody is thinking that it's not. It's just there are so many ridiculous stories being pushed out with the truth at the same time. It's done intentionally so people won't believe the truth when they hear it, or so people will doubt it. I'm not saying that the Wayfair thing is real, and I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's not possible, because it is possible. The question is, by the time we get to the truth, is anybody even going to believe it? Because there's going to be 80 million different versions of the story of what actually happened. Am I making sense?
No, total sense. And like you said, it's happening in plain sight. It's
Yeah.
probably happening in your neighbor's house. Who knows? Um,
Listen
and
to me. If you got whole neighborhoods being bought up by cartels, neighborhoods in residential areas being ran by criminal organizations where everything looks normal, people are driving by not even realizing that's a whole drug den over there. Some of those houses are probably holding people who are, being traded or sold. Like,
Real life.